Shout out, show us you got New England pride, stand up. Shout out, show us you got New England pride. Show us, show us, show us you got New England pride. I said, show us, show us, show us you got New England pride.
Hello and welcome to the premiere episode of New England Pride TV. I'm your host, Dale LePage. We've got a jam-packed show for you today. We're going to have as our guest, we're going to have the wonderful motivational speaker, Grace Stevens will be here. We have a wonderful girl who's coming in to talk very eloquently about her life being asexual and about her GSA experience. We have Kelsey Marie. We have our segment, The Lady Speaks. And we have our segment, Out with Joe, as well as the coming events segment. All that and more coming up right after this on New England Pride TV.
New England Pride TV with Dale LePage is brought to you in part by the Hanover Theater for the Performing Arts, Remax Vision Realtors, Shancakes, Cruise Planners, Nuova Restaurant, Safe Homes, Bay State Savings Bank, and Paul Chasen Interior Design. And now back to New England Pride TV with Dale LePage.
Hello and welcome back to New England Pride TV. I'm your host, Dale LePage, and I'm here with our guest, Grace Stevens, author, motivational speaker, organizer of, one of the organizers of First Event, one of the organizers of Tiffany Club. We have so much to talk about. Let's talk first about your motivational speaking.
Thanks. You're so kind to invite me here today.
Of course, I insisted.
Yeah. I'm speaking on how everyone can live their authentic lives. That just, for me, transitioning at the age of 64, it made me realize that it allowed my kids to go on a path to live their true lives. And I realized that there are so many people that do not live their true lives because they're so afraid of losing all relationships in their life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
now, you covered this in your first book, which was extremely well received. The reviews were terrific. And the title of your first book was?
No, Maybe Yes, Living My Truth.
No, Maybe Yes. Okay. I love it. Yeah. I love the cover. It's very eye-catching.
Thank you.
Now, what was that process like writing that first book?
It was a process that just channeled through me. I did 50,000 words in about 5 weeks. Wow. I had no idea where this came from.
Yeah.
And some people tell me that it is a trans memoir. Some people think it's a self-help book. But to me, it's really a love story, how I learned how to love myself.
Fantastic. Now, you have a second book in the works now. And can you tell me about that? What's the title of that one?
That book is going to be called Musings on Living Authentically. Since I wrote my first book and published it last year, I've been blogging on Huffington Post Weekly under the brand My Transgender Life.
I'm a reader of that blog.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for you're a great writer.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I am taking all the blogs from 2015 and compiling the blogs along with a number of interviews I've done and a little bit of the background about how I channeled, how I learned to find my voice, how I learned to write, because it's all mystical and magical for me. And you as a singer know and understand that process.
I love that you said that. That's fantastic. Yeah. Now, can you tell our viewers at home what First Event is and what the Tiffany Club is?
Sure. The Tiffany Club of New England is based in Waltham, and it's one of the oldest and largest support groups for transgender people in the world. It's probably the only support group that has its own brick-and-mortar facility. We're open every Tuesday night and every Saturday night for people anywhere under the transgender umbrella to come and get some support.
That is wonderful. How would people find out about that?
They can find that at www.tcne.org. TCNE, it's Tiffany Club of New England.org, and they can find our our email and they can find our phone number and just call us and you can come by and meet other people. There are no restrictions, you have to look a certain way, but we're welcoming and you find other people like yourself.
This is so important because one of the reasons I started this show is I wanted to make people aware of these wonderful support groups that are out there that they might not be aware of. And it's really important for me to get the word out there that they are there for you. You don't have to go through anything alone. Now, first event?
First event. So we are so excited. Over the last 5 or 6 years, we've expanded First Event and grown 20% per year. Last January, we had over 750 people attend.
That is amazing.
It is such a great event. And this year we're so excited because we're moving more west. We're moving out of Waltham and we're going to Marlborough. And it will be January 25th through 29th, 2017. And we will also be coming out to Worcester on Thursday night for our Evening of Elegance at Mechanics Hall.
I'm looking forward to that. I never want to miss a chance to be elegant.
And you never do.
I do my best. I do my best. Now let's go back a little bit about your motivational speaking. I've seen you speak. You're a great speaker. You're a great writer. Now, who could benefit from having you come and talk to who would you be reaching out to, and would it be human resources groups or would it businesses or?
I think any group at all would benefit from my speaking. In terms of authenticity and living your truth, what I learned is that when you don't live your truth, you're not working your best life. You don't have your highest performance.
I love that.
So any group, whether it's a technical engineering group, whether it's a religious group, if you think you have a team, if you think you have an organization that is working but not working to their maximum, what's holding them back? And it may well be that they're not fully engaged in living their truth and hiding some part of themselves.
I think that's beautiful. Beautiful and brilliant.
Thank you.
So if our viewers at home would like to find out how they can get Grace to come to your group, your business, your club, organization, how can they find you and how can they get a hold of you to speak at their business?
Thanks so much. My website is www.graceannstevens.com, and you will see a presentation that I've done for the National Speakers Association. There's a 7-minute presentation. You can see me in action.
Love it.
And if you like that, you can contact me. All the contact information is up on my website, and I'd be happy to work with any organization.
Okay. You heard it here. Get a hold of Grace Ann Stevens to come and speak at your organization, your business, or whatever you need a good motivational speaker at. We'll be right back with more New England Pride TV right after this.
Hey babies, it's Miss Lady Sabrina, and we're here to discuss some of your cares and your woes and some of your woe-hoes. All right, so before we begin, take a deep breath, center yourself, and let's get started. All right, our letter tonight comes from a man in Auburn. Let's see what he has to say. Dear lady, I'm a 34-year-old gay man totally head over heels for a 26-year-old guy. I have a huge crush on him. We have been talking for the past 4 months. We talk every day, but only through text. The first time we met, we did sleep together. And we have plans to spend time together in the very near future. We are just friends, but I want more. We have talked about dating, but he doesn't want to because he works 2 jobs and is going to school. I feel like if he really liked me, it wouldn't matter, and that we could make it work. So I kind of feel like it's an excuse. I'm not into playing games. If I like someone, I go with it, and I'm wondering if there is a way to steer the ship in the direction I want it to go. I don't want to put pressure on him or scare him off. I wish I knew if he really is just not into me like that, or is this a time issue? Any thoughts or advice would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your time. Confused in Auburn. Okay, Confused in Auburn. Here we go. This is an issue that plagues not only the gay community, but the straight community as well. It's not about age. It's about investment. It's about being able to balance your wants and your needs. You know, when you're talking about commitment with men, all right, it's about setting limits. if you allow a man to treat you however he wants to treat you, you'll be very disappointed. Because men, even though I love men, I really love men, you know, without limits, behave very poorly. You know, the key to getting a man to commit, if a commitment is possible, is to let them know up front how you want to be treated. You know, if you don't lay down the rules, then you're always going to be disappointed. You know, when you lay down the rules up front, you give the man the opportunity to either succeed, fail, or walk away because it's just not what he's looking for. You know, so here's where the rubber meets the road. All right, it's time to clear up the clutter. Let's just figure out if you're dating, friends with benefits, or just friends. You know, the next time you're going out, here's a couple of things that you can try. Like when he gets to your place or you get to his place and you're greeting each other, go in for a kiss. I mean, you've already slept together, so it's not like a kiss should be a big issue. But if he pulls away, girl, you're just friends. You know, if you're in the car and you just reach over and put your hand on his. If he pulls his hand away, girl, you're just friends. You know, you either have to have a conversation with this person about it, or you have to decide through actions what the intentions are. You know, if he reacts poorly, then you have your answer, even if it's not the answer that you want. You know, it is better to know up front, and it's better not to fool yourself. You know, you're clearly a relationship person rather than a hit it and quit it man. You know, so don't play games with yourself and water down, you know, your standards and your needs to a friends with benefits just to keep him in your life. You know, you'll be insecure and disappointed with the outcome. And this is something my grandmother used to always tell me. I would rather be alone for the right reasons than with someone for the wrong reasons. Respect yourself. And I hope that helps. All right. We'll see you next time with another letter. This is Lady Sabrina. Love and light.
We're back on New England Pride TV with my guest, Kelsey. Kelsey impressed me so much when I went to go hear her speak that I was supposed to have the mayor, Joe Petty, on the show, but I bumped him so I could get Kelsey on the show because that's how impressed I was. Welcome. Welcome to the first episode of New England Pride TV. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Now, can you tell the viewers at home who might not be aware of what a GSA is?
Absolutely. A GSA is a club that meets after school. Every public school has the right to have one and have the same funding as any other non-academic club. And it's a space where anyone of any gender expression, any sexuality is free to be themselves. We also do a lot of education work, a lot of arts and crafts. We just make it a space where anyone can be themselves.
Now, in preparation for this TV show, I went to many schools, I went to businesses, I went to support groups, I went to organizations, and I made the rounds, and I was really impressed by the way are you the president of your GSA?
I am.
And I was very impressed by the way you spoke and the way you handled the meeting. And what I want to hit on now is something I just found out, which so impressed me, is you got a scholarship.
I did.
You got a scholarship for college.
Yes.
And it is from?
It is from Greater Boston PFLAG.
Greater Boston PFLAG, which is, for the viewers at home who do not know what PFLAG is, what is that?
PFLAG is an amazing organization that especially works with the parents of transgender folks who are struggling to understand the transition and what that thing might mean for them.
Wonderful, wonderful. I actually attended a PFLAG meeting and it was eye-opening for me and heartbreaking at the same time of what some of the parents go through. And another thing that I wanted to touch on is who's going to be presenting you the award at the awards banquet? Is it Lady Gaga's mother?
I believe so. She's definitely going to be speaking there.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely going to be really cool to meet someone so influential and incredible.
And she has a wonderful charity called Born This Way, right?
She does.
She does. Now, another reason I wanted to have you on the show is because I wanted to talk about many topics, but because time is quick, there's a specific topic that you would like to talk about.
Absolutely.
And what would that be?
I would like to talk about asexuality.
Yep, and can you explain to our viewers at home what that is?
Absolutely. An asexual person is someone who doesn't experience any physical attraction to anyone. That doesn't mean that you can't experience romantic attraction, certainly, but some people don't experience either. Some of us are repulsed by sex and some of us aren't. And it's basically just not feeling any sexual attraction to someone. You could still have a sex drive. That's totally normal. If you do, it's just not directed at anyone in particular. Something I'd like people to know at home is that we're definitely not broken. We're completely normal.
You're definitely not broken.
Even according to the American Psychiatric Association, asexuality is not a disorder. It's a completely normal human sexuality that is completely valid. And we do face a lot of issues. You know, a lot of people say to me, like, why do you care about like gay marriage and stuff? Because that doesn't affect you. But first of all, it can, because we do have romantic identities, which can be gay, bisexual, anything like that, just with the word romantic after it. So like homo-romantic, bi-romantic. I'm bi-romantic personally.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and the other thing is that, like, because there's so little information about us, a lot of people feel like they're broken and that they have no support. And so we need help more than anyone, because even in the LGBT community, sometimes people just don't know about us.
Right. And I'm hoping that a show like New England Pride TV will get these kind of topics discussed. People need discussion about these, about many subjects, this being one of them.
Absolutely. I know for me, when I heard my friend say the word asexual, I said, what does that mean? And she was explaining it to me. Everything just popped into place, and I was like, oh my God, this is me. I am a thing, and this isn't something that's wrong with me. It's not a sign of a lack of maturity. I am an adult, and this is my sexuality. I'm not going to grow out of it. It's not a phase.
Wonderful.
And it just made a big difference to know about being asexual and that it's valid and totally normal.
Now, one of the things that I want to touch on before we have to say goodbye is the GSAs. Is there a big convention of the GSAs coming up this year? Is it, I think, where the GSAs get together?
The GSA does have a state level of organization.
That's what I was trying to think, yeah.
So I'm on the state council. I'm the co-chair of Central Massachusetts, and we do meet every other month. We also hold a really big summit over the summer, and it's a leadership summit at UMass Amherst. Unfortunately, the deadline for this year to apply has already passed. Okay. But if anybody wants to apply next year, it's absolutely fantastic opportunity for high school students.
Fantastic.
And we also run regional meetings, where anyone from any GSA in Central Massachusetts can go and attend and learn about all sorts of different topics.
Fantastic. To our viewers at home, you are going to be hearing so much more from this lovely young woman, because she is a force to be reckoned with. Thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be back with more New England Pride TV right after this. And now it's time for our coming events segment, and I'm joined by my coming events co-host, the dashing Southern gentleman himself, Mr. John Troba.
Well, thank you very much.
Let's get started with coming events for Rhode Island. How's that?
Absolutely.
All right. Rhode Island, PrideRI.com is celebrating their 40th year on June 18th. There are many events listed, including Providence Gay Men's Chorus on May 21st. Then we're going to jump all the way from Rhode Island up to Vermont. How's that sound?
That sounds
all right.
dashing.
PrideCenterVermont.org has several listings for support groups as well as arts fiber groups on the 2nd and 4th Sundays. And they also have something really fun coming up. Hedwig and the Angry Inch at Pop-Up Pearl benefits Pride groups in Vermont, and that's happening on March 31st at 8 p.m. What else do you have?
Well, then we'll travel all the way south to Connecticut.
Let's go south.
At the Triangle Community Center in Norwalk, they have the LGBTQ People of Color support group on May 30th, and then their Pride in the Park, which is the big event of the year, is on June 5th.
Excellent. Now we're coming back to Massachusetts. We've got NoHo Pride. We've got nohopride.org. May 7th is the parade and fair at the Tri-County Fairgrounds. It is so big that Worcester Pride always has a table. Then we have in Boston, we have the Mr. and Ms. Boston Pride Pageant. That's happening on Sunday, May 22nd at Jacques Cabaret, 79 Broadway Street in Boston. And let's give a shout out to our friends at Club Cafe at clubcafe.com. They have always got great shows going on and always great music. And Jim, one of the owners of Club Cafe, is a big supporter of New England Pride TV. So, hi, Jim.
We love that.
We love that.
And in Maine, we have Down East Pride Alliance, DEPAbusiness.com. It's also known as Southern Maine Pride. They have a networking event, which is very, very important, on May 17th called After Hours. And then the Portland launch party for Portland Pride is on May 13th, and you can find that at prideportland.org. And then we can go down to New Hampshire, or over to New Hampshire, I should say.
Okay, take us for a ride.
And in southern New Hampshire, which is, you know, my favorite part of any state, there are a variety of meetup groups, and you can find the Southern New Hampshire LGBT meetup group by typing that into meetup.com. And then there's a pretty special Women Singing Out, which is womensinging.out.org, and they have their first event on May 15th in Portsmouth.
And then we're skipping right on over to the wonderful Hanover Theatre in Worcester, Massachusetts. They have a great play coming. It is a musical, it is fun, it is uplifting, it is Kinky Boots. And you can find out how to get your tickets for Kinky Boots by going to thehanovertheatre.org, and you can find tickets there. Hanover Theatre is a sponsor of New England Pride TV, so thank you. And then we have Worcester Pride. Worcester Pride has an annual drag brunch coming up on May 22nd, and then Airspray's Queer Dance Party on May 20th. You can find out about that on worcesterpride.org. That's it for this coming event segment. We'll be back with more New England Pride TV right after this.
New England Pride TV with Dale LePage is brought to you in part by the Hanover Theatre for the Performing Arts, Remax Vision Realtors, Shancakes, Cruise Planners, Nuova Restaurant, Safe Homes, Bay State Savings Bank, and Paul Chasen Interior Design. And now back to New England Pride TV with Dale LePage.
And we're back with New England Pride TV with our next segment, which is called Out with Joe. We're going to learn all about restaurants, clubs, and events throughout New England. Now, we're here with Joe Mangiacotti and the lovable Teddy.
Teddy.
Now, Joe has got over 30 years experience and has served as a reporter and a news anchor and hosted and produced many talk shows. And welcome to New England Pride TV.
Thank you, Dale. We're so happy to be here. We're looking forward to being here every month as we bring you profiles of restaurants, clubs, pubs, events all throughout New England. We're taking it from the radio waves to the TV waves, and the first restaurant that we're going to take a look at is actually local to us on Shrewsbury Street in Worcester, Nuovo.
Yes.
It's located on Shrewsbury Street, which is a great place. You can't go wrong for dining on Shrewsbury Street in Worcester, and it's very much like if you're not from the area and you're coming into the area, it would be like Shrewsbury Street is to Worcester what the North End is to Boston.
That's a great analogy.
All right, so let's take a look. And I'll tell you, we should have done this probably closer to dinner time, this shoot, because
we'll all be hungry?
Absolutely. Let's take a look, yeah. Well, our trip to Nuovo began at noon, where the Out with Joe crew met up with Chef Alex and his wife and general manager, Loretta. It is truly a family-run business. At Nuovo, you'll find a wide variety of delicious dishes, excellent wines, and not just the large commercial wines that you're used to, but excellent labels of select wine. And the entire staff could not be more pleased than to pair a perfect wine with your meal. The atmosphere is clean, elegant, and overall warm, welcoming feeling that you can only get from sincere hosts who enjoy what they do. Aside from the beautiful dining room and lounge, complete with a baby grand piano where you can enjoy live piano music Thursday through Saturday nights, you can plan your business lunch or dinner or private family event in their beautiful function room that can accommodate up to 120 people. Chef Alex took me to the kitchen where the real magic happens. Chef sauteed up several dishes, including calamari, Chilean sea bass, and goat cheese stuffed salmon. And of course, it was all topped off with fresh from scratch homemade desserts. Overall, Nuovo is an elegant, warm, and inclusive dining experience at 92 Shrewsbury Street in Worcester. To watch this profile in its entirety, go to newenglandpride.tv or outwithjoe.com. Thank you for joining us here on NEP TV.
Thank you so much for tuning in to New England Pride TV. It's been a great time here. This lovely lady to my left is Tina. She has been a huge helping us get this project going. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'd like to leave you with a phrase that I'm going to be ending every show with, which is, please don't be afraid to shine your light because you might be lighting the way for somebody else. We're going to leave you with the music of Giuliano
D'Orazio.
See you next time.
They must have called you every name in the book by now. All the letters you wrote seem to fade from you somehow. When you broke yourself in two, probably didn't think there was anyone left in this world who would love you. Hold my feet to the fire, make me walk that hard line where friends still dead do us harm. Some sweet sorrow. If the road is your home, then you'll never be lonely. No, no. When you're bruised up alone, feeling black and blue. When you're black and blue, and when you were crying at the end of September. Oh, the sun of the summer wasn't there to dry your tears. People come and people go, but the highway stays the same. Where the earth meets the sky, I'll make my own peace of mind in the light of the moon that the sun left behind. The sweet memory of what you once were to me still makes me smile. If the road is your home, well, baby, you'll never, never, never be lonely. Oh, no, no. When you're bruised up alone, feeling black, black and blue, no. When you're black, oh, and blue, yeah, baby, black, 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 oh, and blue, yeah, all right.
Hey, yeah, yeah. Stand up, shout out, show us you got New England pride. Stand up, shout out, show us you got New England pride.